You won't believe this, but 12 players were drafted before Kobe Bryant. Some of these guys were legit NBA stars, but they never reached Kobe's legendary status. Coming in at number 6, the Boston Celtics selected Antoine Walker from the University of Kentucky. This guy had some serious skills on the court, but he also had a super flashy style that got him in trouble. They called him Tony Baby because he was always ready for a good time. Walker was voted an All-Star 3 times and could score 20 points on any given night. He was all about those three-point shots, leading the league in attempts for a few years when he played for Boston. When people asked him why he shot so many threes, he just shrugged and say, because there's no 4. His biggest year was in 2001 when he put up crazy numbers, 23 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists a game. Walker even won a championship with the Miami Heat in 2006, hitting some big shots for them. But sadly, just 2 years later, his NBA career was over. See, Walker couldn't control his spending. He blew millions on gambling, fancy clothes, and cars. Even though he made over $100 million in the NBA, by 2010, he was totally broke. The Boston Celtics, the team that drafted him, definitely regret their decision. They were one of the teams really interested in Kobe Bryant back then, even bringing him in for workouts before the draft. Yikes! Imagine if they had gone with Kobe instead. Next up, Ray Allen was drafted by Milwaukee at number 5, and what a pick it was. Year after year in Milwaukee, Ray's game just kept getting sharper. By 1999, he was a full-fledged all-star, and that was just the beginning. He could drive, play defense, and shoot like nobody's business. Then, in 2003, Ray got traded to the Seattle Sonics. Fresh start, fresh motivation, he signed a big contract and went on to have some of his most electrifying seasons. We're talking career-high averages, 26 points, 4 assists, and 4 rebounds a night. Dude even dropped a mind-blowing 54 points in a single game against the Jazz. I've been waiting for a night like this for ages, Ray said after the performance. The ball's been bouncing my way lately, and my teammates have been setting me up perfectly. Couldn't ask for anything better. But here's the thing about Ray Allen. He wasn't just about personal glory. There came a point where all those individual accolades weren't enough. He was willing to sacrifice his scoring numbers for the bigger picture, team success. He transformed himself into a three-point assassin, the ultimate role player a team could ask for. This selfless approach paid off in a major way. He helped the Boston Celtics win a championship in 2008, then did it all over again with the Miami Heat in 2013. By the end of his career, Ray had racked up a staggering 10 All-Star appearances, 3 Olympic gold medals, and even stole a piece of our hearts with his role in the movie He Got Game. His dedication to staying in peak physical condition and being clutch when it mattered most is legendary. No wonder he's always compared to Kobe. They were both dynamic shooting guards who even ended up playing together for a few years. Here's the thing though, even if the Milwaukee Bucks had a chance to do the draft all over again, some believe they'd still pick Ray. After all, he led them to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 15 years. That's a pretty big accomplishment. At number 4, we have Stefon Marbury. This dude was a walking bridge between the old school NBA and the flashy new era. He could take you out to school playground style, create his shot with lightning dribbles, but then turn around and drain threes and dime his teammates out. Talk about a complete package. He started off hot, making the All-Rookie team in 1997 and even leading the Minnesota Timberwolves to the playoffs. But then things got interesting. Stefon bounced out of Minnesota in 1999, supposedly because he felt overshadowed by Kevin Garnett's shiny new contract. Let's just say Stefon believed NBA players deserved equal pay. You feel me? He landed on his feet though, balling out with the New Jersey Nets and the Phoenix Suns. We're talking 5 straight years averaging a cool 22 points, 8 assists, and 3 rebounds a night. He even snagged 2 All-Star nods, and his future was looking mighty bright. Then came 2004, traded to his hometown team, the New York Knicks. This could have been a dream come true, but instead, it turned into a bit of a nightmare. Stefon was part of a disappointing U.S. Olympic team that choked on gold in 2004. Not his fault, but it didn't exactly endear him to the fans. Things went from bad to worse when Stefon clashed with head coach Larry Brown. It got so heated, Brown ended up getting fired. Yikes. In the end, Stefon couldn't deliver the championship the Knicks craved. But Stefon's story doesn't end there. In 2006, he launched his own clothing line, Starbury, offering stylish threads at prices everyone could afford. Sadly, the venture fizzled out fast. The NBA eventually ran its course for Stefon, and in 2010, he embarked on a whole new chapter, China's CBA. This is where things get legendary. Stefon led the Beijing Ducks to a whopping 3 championships in just 4 seasons. Over 8 years there, he averaged a solid 19 points, 7 assists, and 3 rebounds. Talk about a baller finding his groove. Moving on, the Vancouver Grizzlies in the 90s were not exactly a powerhouse, but Sharif Abdur-Rahim, the 3rd pick in 96, did his best to change that. This scoring machine was a bright spot on a struggling team, pouring in buckets year after year for multiple teams. He even made the All-Star game in 2001 with the Atlanta Hawks. Sharif averaged over 18 points a game throughout his career, even cracking the 20-point mark in 6 different seasons. He was a champion too, winning gold at the 2000 Olympics when Grant Hill got hurt. Sadly, he also holds a not-so-great record, 2nd all-time for most NBA games played without ever making the playoffs. Knee injuries eventually forced him to retire in 2008, but Sharif's love for the game didn't fade. Now, he's the president of the NBA G League, helping develop the next generation of basketball stars. At number 2, the Toronto Raptors took a chance on Marcus Camby from the University of Massachusetts. And let me tell you, Camby carved out a heck of a career in his own right. This dude was a defensive force, winning Defensive Player of the Year in 2007 and leading the league in blocks multiple times. He even defied the odds, making the NBA Finals with the underdog Knicks in 1999, the only 8th seed to ever do that. Talk about an upset. But Marcus wasn't all about highlight plays. He had a bit of a temper too. In 2001, things got heated during practice, and let's just say Marcus accidentally headbutted his coach Jeff Van Gundy while trying to throw a punch at someone else. Despite the bump in the road, Camby put together a solid 16-year career. He earned a spot on 4 all-defensive teams and sits comfortably at number 12 on the NBA's all-time block list. So yeah, Marcus Camby had a successful career, but there's no denying the shadow cast by Kobe Bryant. He might not have been the superstar Kobe was, but hey, being Defensive Player of the Year and leading the league in blocks ain't too shabby. The number 1 pick in the 1996 draft was Allen Iverson. He was a lightning rod of controversy, but there's one thing no one denies. This dude could ball. From his killer crossover dribble at Georgetown to shaking NBA legends like they were rookies, there was no slowing down this hype train. Iverson took home the Rookie of the Year in 1997, and that was just the beginning. We're talking 11 All-Star appearances, a league MVP title, and even leading the underdog Sixers to the NBA Finals. His beef with referees led to rule changes, and his practice rant? Talk about iconic. Iverson's influence went way beyond the court.